Like, it's so irritating that all the things that conservatives keep like secretly accusing Democrats of doing, now it's coming out more and more and more. You've done this. Weaponizing the DOJ. Trump tried to do that, right? Telling the DOJ who to indict, Trump did that on Fox News. Using private email servers, Trump and the conservatives did that. He had a phone and everything. Nobody cared. Getting paid by foreign media outlets to cover them favorably.
In this video, Destiny starts out talking about being interviewed by Lex Friedman. The conversation takes a sharp turn into Destiny talking about Tim Pool and raging over the Tenet media situation. With that, let's watch the host of the interview put Destiny in his place with regard to Tim Pool's involvement in the Russian money incident.
But he is.
I feel I already didn't like Lex beforehand because I feel like he only, you know what he is? He's the type of guy that'll only like push back when it's safe to do so.
You mean like when he grilled me for 30 minutes on me saying retarded?
Yeah, exactly. Like you can do that, but you ask the president, like, hey, you know, you didn't win, and me and some people really like your policies. And Trump's answer is like, well, I'll tell you, you know, those people coming in from the south of the border, they're coming in like never before seen.
Or what was the one where he's like, what are we going to do about divisiveness in our country? And it's like, well, we need to, you know, the communists, they're all communists.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
He's just, the problem I think with Lex Friedman is that, you know, I think it starts at one point. The left is impossible to please. And I think that for most people turns them away permanently from that.
Well,
and the right is very opening to this type of stuff.
I don't think I would say the left is impossible to please. I would just say that the left has some type of standard for behavior and the right has no standards. You can do anything and they're shameless. Like, look at how Tim and Benny and maybe even Lauren and her husband are going to try to walk away from this and go like, oh, well, you know, oops. Like,
I don't think,
like if that happened. Sorry.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video. I've heard this a lot from Destiny lately. He's really been on a kick with this idea that to him, the right wing has no standards or morals. Why, Destiny? Because we base our opinion of the folks that were caught up in the Tenet media thing based on what the judge said in the case, that none of them were aware that the company was being funded by Russian money. And I myself and anybody I've listened to on the right says it was pretty dumb for them not to vet these companies better than they did. They clearly didn't do good enough job. I mean, I'm critical of them, but I don't think they're criminals over the whole thing. And also consider the source. This is Destiny. If you know anything about what's going on with him personally right now, it is laughable for him to lecture anyone on standards or morals or values. I'm very comfortable saying Destiny is one of the most amoral, selfish, self-important people on the planet. The fact that he's even associated with the left on its own merit should give people pause about the standards of that side of the aisle and whether they want to be affiliated with that ideology. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
All right, go ahead.
If that happened, I'm listening.
I'm good.
No, speak. Sprechen.
If you would, do you understand that you could be killed, okay? If it came out that me and 5 other commentators were getting paid by people who were taking money from Israel to promote Jewish interests in the United States, you know, there would be like a mass extermination event for Jews in this country by conservatives. Like, it would be game over if it was discovered that Israel had paid $10 million to some company to pay some of the most popular political YouTubers to do content for them. It would be like, that's it. Like, you will never, you could, there's like 50 years of Holocaust like in store for the Jews. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like that would be the conspiracy.
I feel like it would be
the new USS Liberty.
No, I feel like if I'm Hassan right now, I'm just saying, yeah, it's called IPAC or APAC.
APAC? Yeah, but it's not. This is what they think APAC is. And but this is real. This actually happened, right? Like, it's so irritating that all the things that conservatives keep like secretly accusing Democrats of doing, now it's coming out more and more and more. You've done this. Weaponizing the DOJ. Trump tried to do that, right? Telling the DOJ who to indict, Trump did that on Fox News. Using private email servers, Trump and the conservatives did that. He had a phone and everything. Nobody cared. Getting paid by foreign media outlets to cover them favorably, like through secret shell companies.
What the hell is Destiny talking about? Weaponizing the DOJ and all the other examples he gave of things the left has engaged in. Destiny says it's now coming out that the right does all this stuff too. First of all, these two are having a cordial political conversation and Destiny just blew up to rail against the conservatives. I'm starting to notice a pattern of him taking this tact to make his point sound like a more egregious charge against the right than it really is. On the left and the right, politicians are scumbags. I have no doubt that the right has engaged in unsavory practices all the time. I'd be naive to not believe that. But it's the scale and the magnitude on which the left does it, the lies that they tell about it, and how long they've been doing these things. It's not all right for either side to game the system, but one side relies on it as their sole means to achieve their political aspirations, which are very simple: power and money. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Companies and through not reporting to FARA and through fraudulent money transfers and shit. Like, they did this.
FARA's involved?
The foreign something. You have to register as a foreign agent, FARA.
Oh, I thought we were talking about...
Like, they do all of this.
FARA Fridays.
Yeah. Like, and it's so shameless. It's like so shameless. Like, this should be like career ending.
It should be.
For at least Tim Pool, if not for the other five. At least for Tim Pool, who markets himself as like an investigative guy who got to start doing investigative media journalism, right? Like, how do you miss that? That's you. Like, you worked for the thing. You were part of the thing that you're supposed to be like the watchdog against. If any of his fans actually believe any of the shit that he says, right?
I mean, he's certainly going to try and say, like, listen, you can see in my post right there, I say Russia. Russia can suck a dick. Fuck you, Russia.
Except you literally can't, because if you go to my Twitter and you look at the thing that I tweeted like 4 tweets ago, he literally has said that Ukraine is the one that started the war and that Ukraine is an enemy of the war.
I can play as Tim Pool. It's not hard. I can do it. Like, yeah, I do not agree with America's continued funding of someone else's war. I think we should focus at home. I'm sorry, I stand by that. Putin is still a asshole, but do I think we should be sending shit to Ukraine? Absolutely not.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
And I stand by that. Absolutely. Everything I said.
That's fine. You can say that. You can say that, but I'm saying that in any media environment with any amount of integrity, that person's career would be over.
Oh.
It would be done. Like, I could never trust a single thing you ever say. You couldn't tell this random no-name company from this loser who it was like barely relevant in the media space anymore, who worked for the fucking Blaze, is paying you $500,000 a month, and you didn't stop to think for 1 second what the fuck.
I'm sorry, Destiny. I don't look into it, okay? Where I'm not going and looking at every specific investor. I'm sorry, do you know every single person at Kick that's paying you? Okay.
I assume it comes from casinos.
You assume, but you have no idea. Okay. You know what there is? There's a very right-wing leaning bent on that site. Okay. And they might keep you there as the token Cuban. You don't know. You don't ask the question. So why am I being held to some impossible standard where I have to know? Like, a media company said, hey, we want to pay you. We want to have you under this thing here. There's some topics we want to cover. And it's already related to the shit I cover. Yeah, that's called being a journalist.
Kick isn't.
Wow. I've never heard it put that way. I don't even think this guy's a right winger, this host, but wow. I mean, if he's a left winger, he's objective. That's a really good point. Do you investigate every single investor at Kick that's paying you? And Destiny, Mr. Genius, gave about the worst answer he could give to make the other guy's point. I assume it's all from gambling. Right. You don't investigate them. You're making assumptions. And then the guy says, I like the things you talk about and I want you to keep doing it and we're going to pay you this much. Wow. That's the best. I have my criticisms of everyone that was involved with that Tenet Media thing, but this is the best, I won't even say defense, just devil's advocate position on that. And Destiny, didn't fight back there. So he pretty much acknowledged that, yeah, I don't investigate every investor. Who does? That's a really good point. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about Tim Pool freaking out and his obsession over Tim Pool and everyone else at Tenet Media? And what do you think about his comment that the right wing has no standards and all they do is engage in the things that they criticize the left about? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.